Nobody knows we're going on a date. Nobody knows.
This is where one of the funniest moments of the entire night happened.
Because we were trying
Your
to
worst nightmare. This is my worst nightmare.
Long story short, secrets don't last long in our family. Hey.
I had a little mental breakdown. So this is the beginning of hopefully something very, very amazing. We've come a long way and we've put in a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of heart. And now we see what happens. So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you when I asked Allie on a date. And let me tell you, my heart was pumping the entire time. But before we get into that, did you know that 75% of the people who watch these videos actually don't subscribe? That's crazy. So to the other 75%, what you guys doing? Make sure to press the subscribe button. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, you do not have to subscribe if you don't want to, but I also don't want you to miss the next few videos that are coming out. So press whatever buttons you need to make sure you don't miss it. Screenshot it, send it to your mom, write it in chalk on your driveway, whatever you need to make sure you don't miss it. Because these are some of the best stories that I love to tell. So it starts off here. I am super terrified. This is the day that everything has been leading up to. This decides whether or not we go further. I've already asked her. I've gotten over that mountain. But now this is the most nerve-wracking part. Do we work together? Is it fun when we go out together? I guess we'll find out. So when that day came around, I remember not being able to sleep because I was so worried about all the details of the date. I remember that day my car was the cleanest it had ever been. It smelled the best it had ever smelled. I got like 4 of those little tiny air freshener scents that I stuck in the air conditioners. And I went to Publix and picked up everything I needed to make my car smell good. It took it to the 9. And then finally, I got home after preparing my car and started getting ready. And I remember thinking when I was getting ready, there's no way this is happening. Like, we put so much time and effort into it, I know, but still, like, I'm confident enough to be like, yeah, we've put in a lot of work. We've decided we're gonna get here. But at the same time, I'm like, whoa, this is surreal. So that's what's going through my head the whole time I'm getting ready. I'm picking out my outfit. I'm like, what do I wear? Just the stress of it when you initially think is like, oh yeah, I'll just find something to wear. No, when you're in that moment, if you're trying to figure it out, bro, you're stressed out of your mind. You're like, do I pick the black shirt, the white shirt, whatever it may be? All the little details seemed huge, but I finally figured out what I wanted to wear and I headed out the door. All right, and that is it. Now we go pick up Allie. So this was the moment, and I basically just drove over. And I literally got one rose. For me, I don't know why it was, but ever since I was growing up, the less meant more. So getting her one rose was, for some reason, more meaningful than just like a whole dozen, because everybody does a dozen, right? That one rose meant so much to me when I got it. I was super excited. So now we're pulling up to the house. And this is where one of the funniest moments of the entire night happened. And you'll find out here in a second. So I made sure to have the car the other direction so she didn't have to walk around the car to get in. Key moves, make sure to make that happen. And now we wait. So I remember I posted up right here and I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, I crossed my legs and I sat here like this. Bro, and when she came around the corner of the house, the way she was looking, I was like, gosh. And I had no choice but to be confident. I had absolutely no choice, so I was just like, dang. Holy smokes, she looks good. And I didn't even give her a compliment first. I didn't give her the compliment. Usually you're supposed to compliment her at the very beginning. I was so dumbstruck. I was just like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful looking. I couldn't say anything. I literally couldn't say anything. And so I was just stuck in this weird, awkward laughter. We were both like laughing in an awkward moment.
That is exactly how you were on the car too, like so nerve-wracking with your hands.
Like I was all the way back like this. Bro, I was sweating. I had a jacket on, I had a whole leather jacket on.
I literally feel like I'm living this for the first time again. My worst nightmare of my entire life. Because we were trying to keep
Your worst
it a
nightmare.
secret.
This is my worst nightmare.
We were trying to keep it a secret that we were going on a date so that we didn't have all this pressure from everyone else and because we felt stupid. And it didn't work out because you can't keep secrets in our house.
Not a family this big.
And so tell them what happened.
So I drove up actually, right? I backed my car in because I didn't want to make her like go around the car.
Oh,
and right as I sit down, like this, right as I sit down, Colby comes out this side door and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dang it. I'm like, nothing, just chilling, and then he goes back in, right?
And I purposely told him, like, do not open the door for me, like, stay at the car because I want to get out of here.
And like literally 20 to 30 seconds later, the whole garage door opens, and I'm like, no. But I held my ground. I'm like, not moving. I'm not moving.
This is right about the time that I was walking around the corner to meet Austin.
Yep. And Noah, K-Cup, Colby, all walked out of the house and started asking me questions.
What are you guys doing?
They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, I am here. And then in my head, I was like, I just gotta own it. I'm not hiding stuff. I have nothing to hide. I was like, I'm here to take your sister on a date.
Austin immediately goes, imagine this, right? Your best friend is outside of your house waiting, because Noah was living here at the time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Waiting like this for your sister to walk outside, and you don't know about it. Noah was having a field day with us. He walked out. I remember seeing Austin out. What?
Yuck.
Austin automatically going.
I did. I was just like, my heart was pounding the whole time. I was like, how do I explain this? Because we didn't tell anybody. She didn't want me to tell anybody.
No,
right?
We needed it to be free.
She's like, I just need to make sure that this isn't an embarrassing thing, so that I don't have to tell anybody.
What happened next?
No, what was it?
So at this moment in the date, Austin, because we're owning it, right? I'm trying to pretend like I don't care, even though I'm so affected by what Noah and Colby and K-Cup were saying and harassing us with. And I just pretend I don't care. So Austin opens up my door.
This is what I do.
He had a perfectly picked rose on the seat.
One rose.
One rose.
Very special.
And because I was so stressed out, guys, I didn't even realize. And I legitimately sat directly on the rose and broke it in half.
She didn't even see it, and I was like trying to acknowledge the rose, like be romantic and go through the whole stage and like moment and everything, and she was like getting in the car real quick, and she sits directly on it, and I'm just like, there's a rose there, by the way. She goes, like, oh!
I feel like I have to do it.
You're nervous in there? Oh yes, there's a rose. There's a rose.
Thank you.
And then I'm like, this is what I go. All right, guys. We're headed off. Come on.
Could you imagine?
It just makes the story so much
going
better.
on your first date, sitting on the rose he gets you. Like, that is so embarrassing. And then, oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was like, honestly, I had to just own it. I was a little embarrassed because I was like, all right, this is not going the way I planned. So
no, but nothing in our relationship has ever gone the way that we planned.
No, but the stories are immaculate.
Oh, they're uncomparable to anyone else's.
Bro, that feeling I had when we were driving out of the driveway, pulling out onto the road, and I had this girl beside me that I hope to one day fall in love with, and to see where this goes. The feeling of uncertainty and excitement was electric. It felt absolutely incredible.
Okay, you ready? I gotta show you something. This was one of my favorite things ever.
It was the Christmas house, right?
It was the Christmas house.
Oh my gosh. So basically, Austin knows how much that I love Christmas. And so this was the first house, because we went on our first date in November and a lot of people weren't decorated for Christmas. But he found out that this house was, and so before we went to dinner, he drove me to this house so we could take a Polaroid together of our first Christmas feeling of the season.
It was the first Christmas house of the season. I was driving around, I was trying to find something special because Allie is a Christmas fanatic. And it was this one. It was like the only house, right? But it was decked out. Like the whole thing was covered.
It was decked out.
It was nice. It was really nice. And all right, so we're gonna reenact it for you guys real quick.
Okay, ready?
Pulling up to the house. So, Allison, this is the very first Christmas house of the season.
Wow, Austin, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right? It's the first Christmas house of the season. I just really wanted you to like experience it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that all?
No, I actually have a surprise for you. All right, check the glove box.
Why?
Just check it.
Okay. Oh, it's a Polaroid!
Cut. Pause. Actually, in this moment, I had wrapped the Polaroid. It was all done up really nice with string and like all that fun things with a note. Do you remember what was on the note, actually?
No, I don't.
So what I put on the note was actually 2 memories that will last a lifetime.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was thinking in my head, but I wasn't sure if it was right, so I wasn't gonna say it.
And I wrote that down on everything that I gave to Allie. Like any kind of note I wrote to her or anything like that, I always wrote 2 memories that will last a lifetime.
Now, after the Christmas house and everything we had done, I remember just cruising on the way to dinner, listening to classic music, not talking too much, but just enjoying each other. And there was one thing that I always had looked for in a partner, and that was, yeah, we can laugh together, yeah, we can be noisy together, but do we have to talk to each other? Do we have to be super, super talkative? I know there's a lot of people who are like, yo, if there's any awkward space and you guys can't talk, it's not it. But for me, I look at different stuff. If there's moments where you and I don't have to talk, but we're perfectly comfortable, that's a win. And that's what I felt. We just listened to classic music and talked a little bit. It was amazing. And then we finally got to dinner, and I surprised her with Ruth Chris Steakhouse because I know she loves steak, and I do too. And so I finally mustered up enough energy that when we were walking through the parking lot on the way to dinner, I was like, you know what, I gotta compliment her. This is totally wrong. So I was like, bro, you look really beautiful today, right? Bro, and she couldn't handle it. She could not handle it. She got all, you know what I mean? Like that. And I was like, yes, landed the compliment. You know what I'm talking about. Like if a guy gives a girl a compliment, you want her to react to it. You want her to like value that compliment, and she did. And I was super happy about it. And so now dinner's over. Everything that happened there was hilarious and fun and awkward and amazing at the same time. It was great. But now comes the real festivities. Now comes romantic stuff. At least what I thought. So we leave the restaurant, we get into our car, and we start heading over to the Orlando Eye. I had this plan where I wanted to take her up into the Ferris wheel on this romantic excursion and have the date of a lifetime, right? And that was what I was planning on doing. And so when we got to the Ferris wheel, we get our tickets and we head in. Mind you, nobody's supposed to know we're doing this. We walk into the Ferris wheel. It's great. It's packed. We're like, yo, there's so many people here. Nobody's gonna even know we're here. And so we're standing in line, and this is what happened.
This is one of the most awkward stories that happened when we were here.
Right here in this line.
Already, Allie was like super nervous to be here with me.
Yeah, already feeling weird, looking all over for somebody that knew me.
Like we didn't want to be seen in public at that time because we were like, we still don't even know, and this is just really, really awkward. And we're standing in line, right? And then all of a sudden we feel a tap on our backs, and guess who it was?
My cousin Amira was literally in the line to go on the Ferris wheel with her dad and caught us on our first date. Nobody knew about it. Literally holding hands, trying to make ourselves like believe that it was normal when it completely wasn't.
It was so awkward.
Best part is, she didn't just leave it at that. She went and FaceTimed my aunts.
Yep.
She went and FaceTimed my grandma.
Yep.
And
she's
showed
like,
them
hey,
where
look,
we were.
look at where they're at. They're on a date. And it was a lot.
Long story short, secrets don't last long in our family, and they don't just stay within the people that you know. They go to all of our extended family too. You can't get away with anything.
They circulate so fast.
That's why you live a clean life.
I had this big plan. I made sure that these pods had like a way I could play my own music. So I go up here, I'm like all smooth, I'm like, check this out, I got this. I end up typing it in. Bro, we got the only pod with a broken Bluetooth. So this is kind of how it went. I was like trying to set up this fun romantic mood. I think were you sitting here?
I was sitting like
She was sitting
here.
down.
We were trying to figure out how to sit.
And like, it was super awkward. Every like 30 seconds to a minute, there was this voice that came on and said, welcome to the Orlando Eye. And it was like not romantic at all. And I was like,
He was so stressed. He's like,
bro.
oh my gosh, Allie, I literally figured this all out. I had the music I was gonna play, and I was like, it's okay.
I had a little mental breakdown because I was like, it was going perfectly, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna play it from my phone. And this is how it went.
You say everything, everything's just perfect. Everything's fine. You say everything's just perfect.
actually ask you to give you a kiss. What did you think?
I thought you were gonna ask me to give you.
Were you relieved or surprised?
I was relieved. I was really relieved.
Relieved that I
Because
did
I wasn't there
Okay.
just yet.
Okay. Yeah, that
Just-
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
I honestly remember thinking while we were here, this feels amazing. This would be a really, really fun life. This would be something that I know I would remember forever. And I feel like I definitely want to ask this girl on a second date. I already knew. Halfway through, I was like, you know what? Like, I think I really want to do this again. I could go all night. I don't even need to go home. I was just hoping that she felt the same. After the whole Ferris wheel fiasco and all that happened and the embarrassing stuff with Amira, her cousin, and everything else, we finished up and we went down to the arcade and played some games. And I think this was one of the first places that I was like, wow. Yes, I've experienced Allie at like just doing fun things, but this was one of the times where I was like, yo, I really like the way this girl plays. I really like the way this girl has fun. And we played games and we had fun, just like little kids. It was absolutely amazing.
We are going out of this arcade dinner.
This is a memento of our vacation here, of our date here. It's pretty amazing, and its name is
That's our anniversary. Its name is Egg. Its name is Egg.
Egg. Egg is very cute. So
Proud of you. What a man.
Thank you.
And after that, we went out to the front of the building. We rode the little train that drove around the whole parking lot, cuddling together as we went, taking pictures, looking around at all the other people feeling like this is our movie. I remember talking about family. I remember talking about where we wanted to be in 5 years. I remember talking about how weird it would be like if we were together, if we would have fun, if we liked the same things. And as I got to know Allie more and more, I realized we do like a lot of the same things. It's scary. It's honestly scary. And with each question that I asked, it became more and more evident that I really wanted to go on a date with this girl again.
So, one of me and Austin's favorite moments about our first date was a Polaroid picture that we actually took to document right here in front of the wheel.
And we tried our best to match with the same outfits, and we can show you the other Polaroid just to
I'm
show
wearing
for
my
reference.
exact outfit, actually.
I am missing a leather jacket, but it's okay.
But I still look at that Polaroid all the time and fall in love with it all over again because it is one of my most favorite photos ever. The beginning of a story. I am a sucker for movies. I'm a sucker for love stories. And this one gives me butterflies because it feels like it's turning out to be something just like that. As the night came to a close, I remember thinking I do not want it to end. But for me to get a second date, it had to. The day was absolutely amazing. I came to realize that a perfect day is a perfect balance of the good, the bad, the unexpected, the ups and downs of emotion. That's what makes a perfect day so vibrant. Because if everything just went right, what do you have to compare it to? If you had some things that went wrong and some things that went right, you're gonna hold on to those right things even more because you feel the value and you feel the weight. And not everything went right on that very first date. I originally hoped that it did, but now I realize with all the quirks that came along with it, was an awesome story. And it is my favorite thing ever. So guys, that was the story of our very first date. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I love you guys so very much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, or just press whatever button you need to make sure you don't miss any of the next videos. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being such a big part of my life, and I will see you next week. I love you guys.
You say everything's just
Don't you wish you had one of these?
You wish this was you, huh?
I don't know how to tell him I think Egg is ugly, but we're just gonna go with it.
What did you say?